My name is Jeremy Walton, and this is FilmConvert Nitrate's new feature, Halation. Let's go! If you're into the film look, then you'll want to add halation to your video workflow. I'm going to show you how easy that is with a few images from my trip to Europe. We have the Eiffel Tower and some shots from Ireland, which gives us a bunch of different environments to work with, so you'll know how to apply halation to your footage. Here's the Eiffel Tower at sunset, and to get started, all I need to do is go to Effects, type in FilmConvert, and when it pops up, just drag and drop. Right away, I'm going to scroll down and disable halation for now. Then let's go to choose your camera. We're going to select Canon, then the R3, C-Log3, and hit apply. Scroll down to film stock, and I'm sticking with the Kodak 5207. I'm also going to drop film color to 80%. That's usually in the range I like to work with. You can always change it later. I'm also going to make a few small adjustments to shadows, saturation, just to give us a good image to work with, but we can skip over that. I've done plenty of videos on how nitrate works if you're interested. After I made my adjustments, I do want to mention my film size is 35mm full frame. All of this is the default settings. Let me zoom in 100% so you can see this grain. If you can't really see it, I can select Super 16 and that's really noticeable. Back at full frame, you can always make changes right here between your highlights, mids, and shadows. Like I mentioned, I do cover all this in my other videos, but a quick recap never hurt anybody. Now it's time to see what halation can do for us. We're just going to enable the effect, and if I turn it on and off, with the default settings, you can see how the brighter parts or highlights of the image are being affected. Right here on the Eiffel Tower, some of these buildings in the background, and even the sky. A better way to see this is to view halation alone. Just click right here and you can see what I'm talking about. If we increase the sensitivity, you can see what's happening to the image even better. This will be a very useful tool. Not all images will be created equal, as we'll see in some of my other examples, but let's finish up with the Eiffel Tower. I made very little changes to sensitivity and strength. FilmConvert does a really good job at getting you in the ballpark. Let me turn this on and off for you. I showed you this image because of how much it affects the sky. That might not be something you're thinking about. I also want to zoom in again, and under additional settings, the spread can also be very useful. It gives a nice blooming quality that you might want to add depending on your taste. In no time, we made some significant changes to our image. This is what we started with, and with the addition of halation, this is what we ended with. For our next image, we have to head over to Ireland, and in Dublin, we went to Roe Co distillery. This was one of their whiskey tasting rooms, and these interior lights are perfect to show you what halation can do. I've already made our adjustments and selected the Canon R3. This time I have Super 16 selected, so I'll enable the grain and head to halation. By the way, this view guide right here, click on it, and if you ever need an explanation of what something does, well, it's built right in. A nice little detail. Let's close out of this and enable the halation effect. Clicking it on and off with the default settings, it's already looking good. Let me view halation alone, and if you want to see what it's affecting, there you go. I think showing is a better way than trying to explain every detail. Hopefully you're catching on. You'll want to mess around with the settings. You'll learn really quick what you like and don't like. I don't change hue or the green channel very often, but it might be something you need to do based on your shots. There also might be some combinations that don't look good, so be careful. You may want to strengthen your effect. Okay, nothing too crazy, but you combine that with spread and not the best combination. I mean, if you like it, go for it. So here you go with our original image, and now with a lot more grain and the halation effect, we have a film look. Since we're in Ireland, we have to visit a castle, and I'm going to show you a little tip that you may want to utilize with the halation effect. This is the Blarney Castle near Cork, and I already made all my adjustments. I mean, it looks like a pretty epic castle shot. If I view halation alone and increase the sensitivity, this is one of those shots that you're going to really see the effect. But this is going to be too much. Unless you like it, totally up to you. If it's too much, just drop the sensitivity down to something like this. And now you have something more subtle that works. The other thing you can do is, let me click right here again, bring sensitivity up, but now drop your saturation. Why would you want to do that? Have a look. You're getting a blooming effect without using a filter. Let's drop it down a bit, and there you go. Just another tool in your kit that you can use when needed. So maybe you film something without your diffusion filter, or you decide you want to do something in post. You can start with a shot like this, and after tweaking halation, you can get a familiar effect people love. The last shot is going to be some exterior lights. This is the Westin in Dublin, and coming into the shot is a bus, which worked out nice for this example. I went with a different film stock this time to change things up, and let's see how halation affects this clip. Just like all my examples, one click in most cases is all you need. Although, like I mentioned earlier, you may need to match this shot to another, and you can see how different each clip can be depending on what you're filming. Maybe this shot is a little too warm, or that halation has a bit too much red. Well, let's get to it. The first thing is to crank Q to 100 because why not? And we're going to soften it up to about right there. Now have a look at the Westin sign, this light right up here, and even this edge along the building as I turn the effect on and off. It gives everything a different vibe while still using the film effect. If I bring the highlights up, you can see even better what's happening, and maybe this will give you some other ideas on looks you can create. This is what we started with, and with the addition of halation, we have a film look. You know, since I didn't show you a night scene, I have one that'll work just to show you what's possible. This shot is from the LAX Delta Lounge. A lot of small lights or blinking lights that fill the frame. A bit different than everything else we've seen. I'm all set up, so I just have to enable halation and not much happens. So let's view halation, increase the sensitivity and the same for strength, and see how that looks. I actually want to take a bit of the red out of the scene. Right about there looks good, and I just want to alter the spread to blend everything or try to blend it all. Now look at what we got. We didn't have much to start with, but now we're affecting all the lights and it works. Just to show you again what it looks like, here's what we started with, and with a few simple steps, we have something that really stands out. We just went through a lot of clips with the variety of differences that can change how you want halation to affect your image. We even saw how halation can be used to give you that blooming effect we usually see when using filters. FilmConvert Nitrate can help you achieve that film look with the addition of halation. If you're interested, you can always download a free trial and use it on your footage. It's very user-friendly, so play around with the software, apply what you learned here or from my other videos using FilmConvert, and see what kind of film looks you can create. Well, there you have it, halation for FilmConvert Nitrate. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button because there's definitely more on the way. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Leave a comment if you have questions. Until next time, it's a wrap.